Om Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ नवमोऽध्यायः मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतेः सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय विप्रृते रतते अवजानन्ति मां मूढाः मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतमहेश्वरं मोघाशामोघकर्माणः मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिता महात्मनस्तु मां पार्थ दैवी प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. All right. So, so we talked about last time that this question was raised, or Bhagwan thought this question may come up. We do a little karma and we get bound, because of whatever reasons. So Bhagwan is doing so much, he creates, he dissolves, he recreates, and he is also the master of this universe. All these, things that is, done by Bhagwan. So how come Bhagwan doesn't get attached? How come Bhagwan doesn't get the bandhana? So in the ninth verse we talked about, because Bhagwan doesn't have the kartrutva bhava and the bhoktritva bhava. So he is not attached. The more asakti we have for phala sakti or karma sakti, we get bound by this. So Bhagwan doesn't have it, so Bhagwan doesn't get uh, you know any impact of it. And Bhagwan continues, basically he's saying, I don't have the kartritva abhiman. So it's continuation from the last verse. So maya adhyakshena prakritim. So I am the commander in chief, Adhyaksha. So it's same in Hindi also. Adhyakshena Prakriti. So Prakriti uh, is subordinate to Bhagwan, Paramatma. So Bhagavan says, I am the Adhyakshena, and because we can say Prakriti is the Shakti and Paramatma is the Shaktiman, whose Shakti is being used. So Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti means I command this Prakriti. Suyate Sacharacharam. Because what it does, it creates. It creates chara achar. The whole universe is created of things that move and things that don't move. Basically, it means the living and the non-living. Both are uh, managed and created by the Prakriti only. So, but uh, under the adhyakshata of Paramatma. So, and hetuna anena kaunteya, which means, I'll explain that a little later. Jagat viparivartate. Viparivartate. Viparivartate means it is constantly changing. This whole world is in a total flux, constant changing. So there is nothing that is stationary about it. See, we are when we are watching a movie, The TV says, okay, you know what, you watch a show and it is continuously changing. That is how we get to know it. When there is a picture going, stationary picture, it's fine. Then you can move around and it doesn't uh, engage you. But when you are in that moving thing, it engages you, it captures you. So now let's understand this. The karmas are not independent, they are all dependent, right? Because you need, इसको बोलते हैं त्रिपुटी. There has to be somebody who is doing the karma, and the action, and the act of doing it. So say I do some karma, then I am engaged, the end product, what karma I am doing, and the act of doing it. So there are three things. So it is dependent on these three entities. It is not independent. Same way, the prakriti is also not independent. It is dependent because, even in Tattva Bodh, we had said, what is Maya? Brahma ashritaha. That means it is totally dependent on Brahman. It doesn't have its own independent existence. So, so it's like saying that, can there be heat or light without the sun? Heat or light is totally dependent on the sun. Without sun, there is no heat or light. So these both Shaktis are dependent on sun. Same way, the Prakriti, which is constantly creating and dissolving, and all these changes are going on, they are all dependent. And the what is the independent entity in that? The Paramatma is independent, because Paramatma is the Adhyaksha. It doesn't need any other. It is the ultimate cause. It's the final cause. So, so this is how we have to understand that. So Prakriti makes the Charachar Prakriti, Charachar universe, the world, and Bhagavan stays the Adhyaksha, which we can say the chairman, the president, or who is the authority. The final go is given by Bhagavan only. So, but the work is done by Prakriti. It's like, if I ask a question, who built Taj Mahal? The answer is, oh, Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal. Some people have a controversy about it also. But anyway, let's say Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal. If Shah Jahan, so he must be really tired, because he must have worked really hard to build the Taj Mahal. We give credit because he is the one whose sankalpa was carried out, you know. So same way, when we say the Bhagwan did it, so Bhagwan is not the one doing it. Bhagwan is the one says, let there be. And there was this creation. In Christianity also they have that. Let there be light, and there was light. So, so Bhagwan is the ultimate authority, because of which everything else works. So it is the substratum, it is the cause, whatever way we want to understand it. So when by his sankalpa, this, or his adhyakshata, this happened. That's how we have to understand it. So saying that Bhagwan did it is also correct. And if we say that Bhagwan didn't do it, that is also correct. Because Bhagwan's Shakti did it. So really speaking, other than Bhagwan, there is nothing there. But we say it because of our experience of this universe. Because we are constantly experiencing it, So we can't deny it. So that's why Maya is neither Sat nor Asat. So Adhyaksha means Adhi Aksha. That means the Adi means over, and Aksha means I, the one uh, who keeps an eye on everything. So this is how we can understand that. So Paramatma is the one because of which the life is there. The life in all creatures. See, it's like if we want to take an example of you go to your kitchen and you look at all the appliances. Now each appliance is doing their job, right? The fridge is cooling, the some other like microwave is heating, and whatever other the blender is blending. All these things are happening, but they are all 100% dependent on electricity. So electricity alone is the cause for these appliances to work. So same way we can understand the uh, the ultimate authority because of which everything works. See, sometimes these examples can be little misleading, because we may think, okay, but electricity is separate and appliances are separate, but only they use the power. No, to some, for a beginner, we can take that example. But for an advanced student, we have to go much beyond that. So we just say it is Hari Leela, because we can't explain it any other way. you know. So we have to, because even in Vedanta, they don't answer why. Why this? It just is. There is no explanation of that. So, but they say people don't understand me. Now, in the next two word is Bhagwan is talking about that people don't understand the existence of Paramatma. They don't see what actually is the cause. So they have their own views about things. So in the 11th verse, it says, Avajananti mam mudaha. Mudha means the fools, that they avajananti, they disrespect or they ignore or they don't care, about Bhagwan, Mam, me. These fools, they don't understand, what they think. Manushim tanu ashritam. That they think I am also like them. I may be bigger, maybe stronger, but they think I am like them. So that's how we project Bhagwan also. Just like we have some limited power, Bhagwan has more powers. That's about it. It can do things that we can't do. But it is also Tanu Ashritaha. It has also got a body. It has also got some form. It is like us only, but bigger. Manushim, he's like, they see them just like they see themselves. They see Bhagwan also as like that. But, maybe some uh, little extra powers. That's about it. कहता है परम भाव मजानंतः. They don't understand my true nature as the cause of this universe. The divine, the param, what is my true nature, they don't understand. They think of me as body only, another third party who's the boss somewhere sitting, taking care of everything. Mama Bhuto Maheshwaram. They don't understand that uh, I am in all the embodied beings, that I am the reason that they have that sentiency, that I can say I am. So people don't, this is what is called as deluded people. So deluded people don't know me. They are the mudhas. Mudha, you get it, right? Mudamate. This is Nirupamaji's favorite one. Okay. Uh, so we can look at it this way. There is the ones, those who deny existence of God. We can say Charvakas or the communists or whatever, they don't believe that there is something called God. Everything has come about just by accident, and we are gonna take maje maje and you're done. Uh, the other is God is there. Uh, they have some idea that, okay, you know what, they may be in the form of Jesus Christ, or in some other light, or we call it either Nirakar or Sakar or Sagun or Nirugun, whatever way we want to think about it. So we have superimposed our ideas on Paramatma. That, okay, this is what Bhagwan is. So there are those people who have, uh, and they will fight with each other. Nope, my God is the true God. What do you guys know? He has to be this way only. And then some may accept the existence that, okay, there is some power, that I agree, because of which this whole thing is running. But I don't believe in avatar. How can God, who is all pervading, becomes a human being? So people have these kind of issues. Because Bhagavan says, I am the boss. I can take any, there is, there was, I think, they used to call it undercover boss. Sometimes the boss will come in some, as a employee or as a customer or something, just to see how things are going and to correct what is wrong. So the same way, Bhagwan can take any form. When it can create so many forms, who is stopping Bhagwan to take a form as an avatar? So, so that's Manushim Tanum. Anyway, that's how people see. When they see even as a avatar also, they think of it as another human being. Maybe smarter, maybe a little more powers, but that's about it. So, but he says, I am Bhut Maheshwara. I am understand my nature as uh, the Maheshwara, Maha Ishwar, the one because of which all the bhutas, all the beings exist. Param Bhava Ajananta. So this applies to all of us, because we see ourselves and others as bodies only. See, when I look at bridge, I see bridge and an image of bridge comes about, or or anybody for that matter. So this is how our mind works. So when we talk about Bhagwan, we also talk about him as something, because we don't see the divine Chaitanya. We don't because we don't see ourselves as Chaitanya. We see ourselves as a body, then that's how we see everything else. If we start seeing ourselves as Chaitanya, as the sentient being, then that will start making sense, the nature of Paramatma, because that's how we experience it. How else can we experience it? We can do as much puja as we want, but the Bhagwan, that is why this knowledge is so important, you know. So because everything is Nama Rupa only, for us. That's how everybody is. How do you recognize anything? By Nama. by Nama and Rupa, by form and the name. Form means all the characteristics that go with the that form. So we have, that's why we have no doubts about it, because that's how we see it. So uh, we don't want to think any other way. That's the problem. See, when there is a debate between the somebody who is atheist or doesn't believe in it, and the people who have a belief in it, he says, this is my experience, how can you deny that? And that is correct. You can't deny that. So to go deeper into this discussion, we have to take a step back and understand that's why uh, the 90% of Vedanta is about neti, 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 neti. We do panch vivek, panch kosha vivek. Panch kosha vivek means, understand, I am not the body, I am not the Annamaya kosha or Pranamaya kosha or Manomaya kosha or Vijnanamaya kosha or even Anandamaya kosha. I am beyond that. So same thing we did with the Drigdrashya Vivek. So anything that is seen, you know, the seen and the seer cannot be same. So which means, if I want to understand my own true nature, I cannot be seen, I cannot be experienced, because I am the experiencer. So if I become an experienced, then there must be a third experiencer that is experiencing it. You get it? so so that is why we don't want to think that way. We don't want. That is why there is so much mananam needed to understand this. Constantly we have to remind ourselves, basically reflect on the teachings. So we can slowly change our perspective and understand this. So that's why Bhagavan is saying that I am the avyaya. What was the last uh, line of that? Mama param bhava majanantah mama bhuta maheshwaram. So anyways, so we say that even in Bhagavan, in this particular verse, is talking about him as Krishna, as the avatar. When we say avatar, avajananti, Ishvara, uh, let's think about this way. Because since we cannot think beyond Nama Rupa, when Bhagwan comes as Ram, even today, when we think of Ram, we think of Dashrath Putra, or the husband of Sita, or the one who killed Ravan. So the only things that we can think is associated with the Nama Rupa. We cannot see Bhagwan as the all-pervading Atma. It is not just that, it is also the one that is enlivening me. The life in me is that Ram. So we have to start to understand that. So here, the next verse is also continuation of the same thought process. He says, how do these mudhas, how these fools live in this world? He says, Moghasha Mogha Karmana. Moghasha, or let me read the whole thing. Moghasha Mogha Karmana, Mogha Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshasim Asurim Cha Eva, Prakritim Mohinim Shrita. That means Moghasha. Moghasha means the Asha, Moha Asha. That means the false hopes, that we are driven by these, unnecessary or uh, क्या बोलते हैं, the useless, the ones that is not going to bring any results. Moga karmana. Let me tell you one other point that I was thinking about. When Ramchandraji went with Vishwamitraji in the forest, so he killed Tadka. Tadka is the lady, and she had two sons, Subahu and Marich. So Bhagwan killed Subahu, and he basically, uh, with one arrow, he sent him hundreds of miles away, so that he won't disturb the yajnas that Vishwamitra and all the rishis were doing there. The Tadaka is the Moghasha, and the Subahu is the Dukkha, and Marich is the Dosha. So if we, you know, understand the uh, the significance of that story, so Moghasha is the, or Durasha, as they say. That means running after wrong things. That's our life story. We run after wrong things, and then we get caught up and get into the bondage. So what is the result of this moghasha gives you dukkha, and also it creates the dosha vritti, that we start seeing problems everywhere. We start seeing what is wrong with everything. So that is uh, the Moghasha. And the कहते हैं उसको, if you want to define Moghasha, then it is the when you expect something from something that it doesn't have. You know, if I expect something from a person that he doesn't have, see, you can only give what you have. If you are a happy person, you can spread happiness. If you yourself are sad, then all you can do is spread sadness. So, so that is what Moghasha is, that wrong expectation from this universe. That isme sukh milega, sukh buddhi, in the wrong things. See, if I say there is sukh in trying a Michelin star restaurant. I'm giving a example. Going to some fancy place, but you put in so much effort, but that sukh, even if it was there, maybe there was a glimpse of sukh was there, that now you can say, I went to this restaurant. That's the only sukh you can talk about. What else? The food is finished within 5-10 minutes, 1 hour, maybe late, you know. Then after that, what? Heartburn or maybe other problems. But the point here is, the sukh that we are expecting from things is not there, because the sukh is not in objects. Sukh is in the subject itself. Since we don't recognize, we get all kinds of problems. So this is what it is, the false hopes, you know. Uh, and then we can say, even in the relationship also, expectation is what causes the frictions, that didn't say I love you, finished. Or some other things. My expectation is certain things, and then I don't get that, then the conflict starts. Moghasha, this is what Moghasha is: expectation from situations, expectations from people, expectation from objects. So even thrills or whatever, travels, everything, any experience for that matter, you can have the experience for the sake of that experience. I'm going to see it because I want to see this. If that is your goal, fine, But if there is something else attached to it, that it'll make me a super person or this will make me look great among my friends, that is wrong expectation. And that is going to cause the problem. So, uh, even when people start drinking, what do they think? Oh, by drinking this, I will forget all my problems. Forget for how long? you know, Again, it is going to come back. You are also causing, other problems with this, So we are expecting things will change because of this. That is not going to happen. This is false hope. Like people think if I win a lottery, problems will go away. They say that 90% of the lottery winners, they come back to the same status within 3 years. I've heard this. I don't know. I never won anything. So I, I can't say that. So the rule is, this is what we have, you must have heard it also. If I expect a change in the outcome without changing the input, that is called mudha. That is called stupidity. That's the definition of stupidity. So, so this is what moghasha is, wrong expectation. So some people may think that, what, I have had enough. Maybe if I do suicide, if I just end my life, that's end of suffering. That's some people may think, but they don't realize this purva abhyasa goes with you. This is same problems are going to continue. And you may not even get a human life. You may get some other, tiryak jivan. So, like maybe a lizard or a dog or a cat or something else. So point is to correct our thinking. World is not the problem. Problem is my thinking. So thinking has to be changed. That's what. Because moghasha leads to mogha karmanaha. Mogha karmana means we get engaged in, all kinds of work without thinking that this karma will get me this karma phala and this karma phala will change my life. That's what, without thinking that karmas don't change your life. Your thinking you will change your life. Your right thinking is what we need to do. That's why the the goal is not to fix the karma. It's the fix the mindset. That's Vedanta is not talking about doing something. It's a jnanam is about knowing something. When you know the right things, then you don't get attached to it. You don't get, what do you call it? You don't get entangled in it. So that's, you know, uh, so what is that? That's what they say. That is called the Vyartha karma. Shram hi kevalam. It is only efforts you are putting in. You are not getting any good results out of it. Uh, Real purpose. What is the real purpose of karma? Real purpose of karma, we have done it in third chapter and fourth chapter, is chitta shuddhi only. Does it purify my mind? Does it purify my thinking? If it doesn't give purity of mind, it doesn't give me any happiness. So the happiness is dependent on the quality of my thinking. Does it is it all making sense? Because as Tulsidas ji also has said, Dharmate birti jogate jnana, jnana mokshapad bed bakhana. Dharmate birti. Dharam here is actually the karma also. What how you engage in this world. That if you are doing the righteous work, if your mind is in the right place, then it will give you virati. Virati means virakti, chitta shuddhi, vairagya, all these are synonyms. So you develop that jnana mokshapad, because yoga te jnana, from the yoga which we have done, all these different yogas are there, from jnana yoga to even the meditation and the understanding the right living. Uh, so he says, and understand that you are going to get jnana from that. And from that jnana, moksha is possible. From karma, moksha is not possible, because karma only binds. Even the karms can, if the karma has converted into karma yoga, then it gives you chitta shuddhi or vairagya. And that vairagya will allow your mind to absorb the right knowledge. If you don't have that vairagya, even somebody teaches you Vedanta day in and day out, it won't have any effect till that vairagya is in us, you know. So real knowledge is that liberates us, that will free us, that will take us out of shoka, moha, dukkha, all these things, you know. What will get me out of it is the real knowledge. So otherwise, the knowledge that we use today is for earning a living or dealing with interrelationships or interpersonal skills or worldly dealings. But we have to take a step forward, step further, because that is what is going to give us the total freedom, you know. So, so then Bhagavan says, Vichetasaha, the wrong thinking, you know. Our problem is why we get bound because of wrong thinking, you know. This made up knowledge means the knowledge that are given by the WhatsApp university that says, you know, every day we get a message that this doctor in 2 minutes you can solve your diabetes or solve this problem or that problem. You know, Arey Baba, the first we have to understand कि problem है कहाँ. Problem is not outside. Problem is in our thinking only. So once we do that, the body problems are also, you know, to be taken care of. I'm not saying that we have to ignore it. We have to take care of that. But more than that, if we take care of our mind problem, half the body problems will also go away. You know, half the body problems, or I would say 80% of the body problem, is because of psychosomatic reasonings, you know, because see, that's what it says. Moghasha leads to mogha karmana. Wrong thinking leads to wrong actions, and wrong action will automatically cause some problems, you know. So, anyways, so not only it becomes a problem for you, it becomes problem for others around us also. So, so and why this happens? Because of Mohini, you know, because Prakriti has this delusional effect on us. Because what is Mohini? They make the they delude us. They delude us from knowing our own true nature. So it's like it's a trick world we live in, you know. So that what causes the Rakshasi and Asuri pravartis. What is uh, Rakshasi? Rakshasi pravarti is where we enjoy hurting others. You know, that's Rakshasi pravarti. Kato, pito, luto, you know, all kinds of wrong actions. That's what the Rakshasi or Asuri Pravarti is. We'll discuss this in chapter 16 in more details, but this is what it said here. And this happens because of moha, you know. And now Bhagwan is talking about the opposite of that, which is the sattvic pravarti, or what is called as daivi prakriti. So I think I can stop here. We'll continue from verse 13. I can just, no, we'll do it next time. But we can stop before we do that, let's just conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's do the 3 times Mrityunjay mantra also. Or anybody wants to do that? I'll do it today. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.